Hi all. Right, back with more The Other Side of the Hill solo. This is my part 18 now, I think. Yeah, so I just have come straight back here. We just had a bit of a disaster in Spain. We've held our position, but lost the battle. Had to use that card. Had to take a reduction. Yeah, not very good finish, but that's the start of seeing how things are going to start going. Um, Okay, so we're on to military directives objective check. Well, actually, this is going to take it now, isn't it? I wonder if we had retreated then. I know, but our objective is to take Madrid. Yeah, well, if we retreated, we wouldn't have been doing this, so we had to do that, really, didn't we? Yeah, I was forgetting that. Not that I was really wanting to retreat anyway, but that would have surely reminded me. Right, so we're going to resolve this. Fortunately, we have obtained the objective of taking Madrid, so we succeed. With success, Spain is occupied. Place an occupied marker in base A Gibraltar. Right, I'm a little bit... Well, let's look at Spain as occupied first. 4.7.1a. Well, I think that's just a standard taking occupation of an area, isn't it? I don't think it's going to tell me anything special about Spain, is it? So 4.7.1a is remove the Allied control disk and the alignment marker in the area. So that goes away. And that goes away. Where's that other tray bit? That's there. Oh, I was looking for a marker that I shouldn't have been looking for. That was a bit silly, that one. So that's step one. Move the access control disk in the area to the highest number sector if not already there. So we go into Valencia. Place an occupied alignment marker in the area's alignment box if not already there. There's not one already there, so we now occupy Spain. And it has a resource, so that's the next part, I think. If the area has a resource symbol, add 1 to resources value in its track if it was not added previously. So it wasn't, but it's going to get added now. So we've got 14 now. We're way up there. That was it. I'm going to have a look, though, into this second part of this. I mean, straight up, the card says... It says place an occupied marker in base A Gibraltar. So, sort of means that we should just be doing this. But the reason I feel that there's something not quite right about that is because there's a card to take this base, and you need to... What? Hang on. Where was it? Let me see. Is it just... Although... No, but... Conquest of Gibraltar... See, and it's got the blue pawn, so it needs to be an amphibious attack. But the prerequisite there says the Axis controls Spain. But if I control Spain, unless there's a way of controlling Spain without invade... Oh. The diplomatic way, Grant. How about... Do we not have... In fact, no, we've got that card in our hand. Diplomacy of Spain. So let's have a look at that. So if we had played this and succeeded, what happens again with that? If we succeed with that, what happens? I can't remember. Diplomacy. Right, hang on a second. Yeah, if we played the diplomacy, we would have a satellite marker there, which would give, because the Axis, the Spain could... Does that mean we're not getting the Spanish? No, we can't, because we've took it aggressively, haven't we? So when you would activate a country, after playing the diplomacy card, you roll the dice. Right, if we happen to get, it would need to be we'd get a +1 for France being Vichy. And No, we just get that +1. VC is an axis satellite. Well, no, it's not, is it? So we would get a +1, so we'd need a 5. And if we rolled that, we would then activate... yeah, we would activate the country as a satellite. So this would be a satellite marker, which means we control it. Access control disk in the highest numbered sector. We would get the resource. We would place satellite armies. And then if it had a port, right. Yeah. And that would then mean that we get to occupy Gibraltar. So that would then allow that card to then do the amphibious invasion from Spain into Gibraltar. So I think this is right. I think we've got this because we've done this way rather than that way. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. But anyway, so this is done. Nothing more down the bottom here we're gaining, so that's that. Now that one recycles as well, but I think we found that this recycle thing means if you didn't succeed, it recycles. If you've succeeded, this doesn't recycle. And I know I was kind of confused by the whole Egypt one, but so that's that. Why are they showing like that? I put them back the wrong way. Did I bring out that? No, I didn't. Conquest of Gibraltar. Yeah, it's still there. Sorry for the noise. It's quite windy, but it's been really warm today. So, right, okay. I think we dealt with that. Okay, that makes sense now. I was confused about. You can see the confusion there. That it says in the card that when you take Spain, you get this, and then there's another card to attack this, to invade it. Amphibiously. So that it makes sense if you've done it in diplomatic way. Okay. Right, military directive check, that's that done. Let's move on, supply check. Right, well, that's good timing as well then, because now we've got another base. Well, hopefully I've got that right. So, this did drop down to 3 though. Or maybe just as well we got the other base. So, supply check, again, only required for here. Right, so we get 3. How? Oh, right, sorry, I'm looking wrong. It's Northern Africa and Libya, yeah. Because there's only 3 of them, Northern Africa, Libya, and there's Great Britain. Right, so it's Libya that we're doing. And this is at a 3, so we get a +3, and then we've got 2 bases, Gibraltar now and Crete, so that's +5. We've not got the problem at Southern Italy, and we've not got Egypt, which gives us another boost. So we got a +5 to this and need a 7. So we don't want to see a 1 here. That would be disastrous. Right. And then accept a 1. A 4, that'll do. Okay, so that port stays open. No isolation. All good. Well, I suppose armies would still be there. But then does this not reduce to a reduced army if it's isolated or something like that? It does, I think. Right, supply check done. Victory check. Doesn't apply. That's us done with a turn. So we're now going to move from the spring to the summer administrative phase. And, well, I'm not quite sure. This could be an interesting summer. Thing is, I don't want to drop my fanaticism. Maybe we're going to take Yugoslavia then. Maybe I'll just do that. Have I got armies there? Ooh, not a very strong force, have I? Because I think I moved them all out, didn't I? Look, it's got 2 reduced armies and a satellite army. I can get 4 actually. Well, we're going to have time to do a little bit. And in actual fact, can I play the card and not do anything in the first operations phase and get away with it? And then that'll allow me to have 2 movement phases to maybe move things about and get a better selection of stuff there. Right, anyway, summer, this moves up to the bombing of Germany. And right, well, I'll push on until we get to our directives. Well, no, because you're going to have to decide in your replacement steps, aren't you, what you're going to do here. Thing is, I've chucked all the generals away. That I think they were all defensive generals in the Soviet side of things, but if we do Barbarossa, we're going to get a Soviet offensive against us, which means they're going to attack against us, and we're not going to have any of the defensive generals, because I was chucking them all away like a monkey. I think I think I've got to stick by my guns and try and just avoid Barbarossa this year. As if some people with their head in their hands say, "What are you doing, Grant?" Okay. Right, well, let's get through the first bit. The bombing of Germany is nothing a game. It's at 5, so all good there. So, German replacements. I'm just getting back to the step again. Right, so German replacements. Right, so the Wehrmacht replacements are still at 3. So now you've got to decide what you're doing. And I tell you what, my movement's not going to be good, is it? I've got 2 in the Western Front, 2 in the Eastern Front, and 3 in the Southern Front. The strategic movement side of it's good. So, well, but it takes 2 movement points to, like, if I want to move one of these strategically, go 1 into there, and then 1 into wherever you want to put it. Right, I think I need to pause for a second and just I mean, I've probably got generals that can go on the attack. It's just I've nothing to really defend. Now hang on. If you get 2 armies, your AG heads. So as long as you get a good AG head, which they can come from, I can bring the guys from here, like Strauss there was. He is only good attacking as well. So my in-command generals, they're all attacking, aren't they? They're all attacking, which is good on the attack, but I feel like this is maybe where I should be. Well, apart from the fact that I've activated a lot of generals that had defense against the Soviets. And they're the ones that I should have been maybe keeping. I should have realised that my attack's going to, I'm not going to be doing much more attacking until we go for the Barbarossa, because that's me. There's nothing more I can really do. I've taken Western Europe, apart from Great Britain, and I've taken Turkey and Middle East. We're still down in Libya, but yeah. Anyway. I think I'm going to try and avoid it, going for the Barbarossa. Okay, so 3 replacements. Let me have a think. I was just looking at my force pool's a bit weak now, isn't it? Which means that they're all out here on the map, which is good in a way. Now, remember, I've got this Project Assault Guns, which needs to have a Panzer Army in there. I kind of want to get that going because I feel like going into 1942, we're wanting to be defending and getting the chance of 2 hits. So I sort of feel like I need to leave one of the Panzer armies there. Right, okay, I still think I'm just going to go for Yugoslavia. So what I'm going to do is, you've only got 2 grey. Right, one of my replacements is going to be here. And what I think I'll do is I'll move another army into there. So that's 1. I can bring 1 Panzer army out. Initially I thought about putting it in here. Because remember, we can only have 1 army in Germany, so why not have it as a Panzer army? Thing is, I can't do anything. Is that the military objective that I can do? Yeah, I recall reading the designer's comment about there's no card that allows you to attack North Africa. But he said he had sort of felt that it should be allowed that... I think it was this card, wasn't it? That this should maybe sort of say offensive in Libya, Egypt, or North Africa, maybe. I think that's what he was maybe saying. So this keeps coming back, and the objective is any Allied control sector adjacent to an Allied Axis control disk. Right, hold on, no. Any Allied controlled sector adjacent to an Axis control disk. Right, hold on here. If I play this, right, this isn't in my hand, so I'm going to have to do it next year. If I play this, then I can put a pawn in area 27 or 28. So I'll put a pawn in there. I make an attack in there. We knock that one out of Tobruk. You know what I'm thinking? That still applies as an objective complete because it's going to have this in here and it's going to be adjacent to El Alamein. We're going to have Tobruk and it's going to be adjacent to El Alamein. I think. Tell me if I've got that right, please. So that would succeed. To be honest, if it didn't succeed, it would still achieve us taking Libya, but how is that? But I think that's what that card's for, and you can keep playing it again and we can go into Egypt. Yeah. And I think that's what he was saying about you can't really do anything in North Africa. Okay, well, I've not got the card I can't get that card until next year anyway. So it means I put a Panzer army there, all it's doing is defending. It's maybe not terrible, but you want to make sure you've got things to reduce. I've only got 1 grey army left in the force pool, so I need to watch that as well. Another thought, I suppose, was putting it in the Middle East to shore that up. The Panzer army, like upgrading that. I don't know. Maybe this is okay. Maybe I should put it here. And then Yugoslavia, well, we've upgraded that, and I think if I move another grey regular army in, I mean, I could upgrade that again to the Panzer army, I suppose. We are going to be attacking into rough. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Von Rundstedt, what's he up to? Attacking into planes. Oh dear. Right, so he's not any good to us there. So that's a little bit of an issue. Right, okay. I will yeah, I've upgraded that once. That was 1 point. I'm going to upgrade that as well. So I've basically upgraded twice in there. And I'm going to move, I think, one of them into there. Or I'm going to move something into there, get the 4th Army into there if I'm going to go for Yugoslavia. So that's 2 of my 3. I'm going to leave that other Panzer Army there. I'm going to take this and put it somewhere. Well, that doesn't make sense, does it, Grant? This is full, this is full, this is full. Doesn't really matter where I put it, I don't think. I could put it in here so then when I move one of them, Von Leap stays in play, but I don't know if that's if that matters or not, to be honest. Right, okay, let's just... Well, hang on. No, none of them can be attacked, can they? The only one that can be attacked is Spain, actually, yeah. I was forgetting about that. That was the other place I thought about putting the Panzer Army. I can only have 3 armies in there. I think we're just going to stick with the 3 regular armies there. See, that's the thing, you've got to hold these to defend, haven't you? So, I mean, at first I was thinking I could move some of them away, but I can't really in Spain. The other areas I can, and I think that's what these satellite armies are there for, to get these reduced armies sort of moving east. But, okay, I'm just going to put it in here, I think. So that's my 3rd Wehrmacht replacement. Right, let's go with that anyway. Right, so still Luftwaffe placement, still restricted to 2, but it's at 2. So this is when it's probably quite important to look at where you want to consider moving your units. Yeah, it's always nice to have these in the 5 spot, so if you're going to roll a dice, you're getting that extra dice, but you can see how the Allies can knock you out of that 5 spot before you actually get the chance of that extra dice as well. So, well, I know I'm going to move 1 on the Eastern Front. I don't know. I mean, probably want more in the Western and the Southern, because I want to move these, and I probably want to move these east. So maybe I should... I've got 2 points. So maybe I should move the Western up 1 to 3. And... thing is, I don't think I'm... Apart from moving these 2, the Southern... Maybe I should just move the Western up twice. Don't know, the Eastern... I think all I'm wanting to do with the Eastern is move this in here. Yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3... Hang on, Grant. If you're moving these across, they're moving with strategic movement anyway, aren't they? Okay, this one can't... Oh no, he can't. Remember, he can't... I can't move into Northern Italy because of the whole one German army thing. So all of these are going to have to move strategically anyway. Which is sort of fine. Where's your other point going to be then? 1 in the Western. I'm just going to say 1 in the Southern then as well. Well, that's true. If I move the Western first, move these both into here, and then I can take advantage of that thing where I can then move the other one with the Western movement into there. And then these 3 are going to move strategically out. I think that's my thinking. Right, that's my Luftwaffe, 2 Luftwaffe replacements. And then we do have strategic warfare replacement. Remember, that can now go up to 3 because we got that event. However, it's only at 1. And that's good enough anyway. So it's up to 3 a game. That's playing along okay. Right, then we've got satellite replacements. So we do still have, and yeah, this is where if we diplomatically took Spain, we had the advantage of some extra armies. So there's that way. If you do it that way, there's a tricky die roll that though. There's always going to be a high die roll to get it. However, right, satellite replacements. We've got 2 countries with satellite armies. So we roll 2 yellow dice, looking for the hit. Oh, I thought we had it there, but obviously not. It's an event instead. So no, we're not getting one of these satellite armies. That's a bit of a bummer. Yeah, that was going Italy or Romania, Bulgaria. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so production table. Right, well we got an extra production point, but sometimes they can move about. So with 14, so we're sitting at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we can move something up by 1. Luftwaffe can't move up. Strategic warfare could, but it's sitting at 1. We're sitting at maxed because we can't. We've not got the 4 box unlocked anyway. No. Right, so could be we're moving consumer goods again. Well, what directives? Right, we've scrapped Barbarossa. Well, Barbarossa would have been a 3, so we really needed to boost that. Yeah, I'm not doing it. We'll suffer the consequences. The game might end shorter than it would have done. Not that it's been that short a playthrough, is it? That's just Grant's videos. That's how they go. If you watch any of my playthroughs, they're all going to be like this, long-winded. But I enjoy myself, so just that's the purpose. So invasion of Yugoslavia, which I think we kind of have to do. The prerequisite is the season is not winter. I'm saying we have to do if we want to avoid the fanaticism loss. Where does it tell those? I'm going to tell them on the cards here. It's going to be the military directive I want to look at. So it says, if the season is summer and no military directive card has been played, reduce the fanaticism value by 1. Yeah, so we don't want that. That's why I'm sort of, well, not forced, but, well, yeah, it's kind of, that's what it's doing that. And then, there's 2 operations here, but, yeah, no, that's fine. It's only in that step, military directive step. There's not 2 administrative phases. There's just 2 operation phases. So we don't need to go through that step again. Right, so we only need a military directive of 1. So we've got more to play with here. Right, so, yeah. And our 3 production cards are all cost 2. And you can't get 4. So that's great. So there's no point putting that any more than 2. And then political, well, we can increase that to 2 and play this. Strategic warfare +1. See, I don't really want to play that. It does bump our fanaticism. That's annoying. Another card I've got political is Diplomacy of Spain, which we can't play now, so... And it's not that we're going to unlock this, is it? That's a shame. Would that have... Do you play the production one first? You do. Oh, that's annoying. Because if we had succeeded that last time, we would have been at 1, played this again, completed it, unlocked that box, then been able to play that to bump that to 4. Yeah, in an ideal sort of game, that's how it would have played out. Yeah, so you can see it could have worked that way. Yeah, but we didn't succeed with the die roll. Better chance of succeeding this time. So In military directive, we only need one. Production, 2, and, well, political, that 2. But it's not really that. I mean, I don't know if I want to play that card. So what is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. See, I've still got one more. So I'm as well doing that then. I'm as well doing that, and that boosts fanaticism up to 4. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, you could have considered your strategic warfare replacements, but 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. Nah, I think I'll go with that. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer, isn't it? Okay, we'll stick with that. Yeah, I think so. Right. So, moving on. Production directive. Well, that's the other thing. You could actually play the assault guns now, Grant, and get it started. Mind you, I kinda. But are you going to play the unrestricted submarine warfare? It's bringing the US closer to being in the war. That's all it's doing for me is increasing my fanaticism, because we're going to miss out on the strategic warfare. I can't complete the strategic bombers anyway, so I might be as well doing the assault guns then. Yeah, let's do that. I might still play the unrestricted submarine warfare, but so for my production directive, I'm going to play this. Right, the prerequisite, Project Assault Guns, the prerequisite is there is a Panzer Army in the force pool. There is a Panzer Army in the force pool. And the development is 2. So I get that we Project Assault Guns. That's not. There it is. So Project Assault Guns. See, that's not focusing in, is it? Is it because of my finger? Maybe. I think that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it must be. Right, so Assault Guns Project. So that goes on the development track as well. Sorry, the project track. At development 2. So that's in the same bit, isn't it? I think that's fine. Now that -1 applies to that though. If I roll and fail here though, I can then decide if I wanted to take the -1 and just put it on there. I can't have -1 on both of them. Pretty sure I read that you could change it or just leave it where it is. But the fact this is going to advance on a 2+, I'm kind of hopeful. Right, so yeah, so we're going to play that. Right, hang on, you're forgetting you've got a fall to come. Yeah, but opening up that Strategic Warfare 4 track is probably not as important, is it? This Assault Guns is more important. Right, so I'm playing that card. So we need to roll a 2+. So 2 or greater. Right, here we go. Come on, don't mess about. Yes, good. I didn't want to have to consider changing that -1 counterbout. So that's a success. So that moves into the 1. And this just goes back in my hand. Hopefully we do it next in the fall and complete it, and then we're ready for next year with this in place. We've got to remember though, we've got to leave that Panzer Army there, because we need that to be able to play this. And then the bad side of it is we remove that Panzer Army from the force pool. Well, I'm hoping there's going to be cards in the future that are going to increase my force pool or give me some back at some point. I think there should be some. Okay, that was production directive. So, political directive. Well, and yeah, sorry, just to confirm, we had a production directive set 2, and the cost of the assault guns was 2. Right, okay. Right, and our political directive set 2 as well. So the only card we can play is this. I think I might be as well just playing it. I mean, it can sit there and be played again, but yeah, I'm just going to play it. We can't bumper strategic warfare because it's max. Well, it's at the max available, as we've not got this box unlocked. So, yeah, I'm going to play this. So, fanaticism goes +1, and the US commitment goes +1. So that goes up to sinking off the Reuben James. Okay. And, fanaticism goes up again at 5. And we, like I say, we don't benefit from the strategic warfare. That card's now done and can't get used again. I mean, it does mean it's a card we could have used next year, but it then restricts you to other cards that you might want to consider. So I'm as well just doing it. Yeah. Okay, and then military directive. Right. Well, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play. Weisung 25, Invasion of Yugoslavia. It costs 1. Our military directive is at 1. Combat points area 3, which is Yugoslavia. The season is not winter as a prerequisite. The season is summer. So we're going to activate Yugoslavia 3.41. The objective is to take Belgrade, and we would get a +1 for the success to the air naval control on the Eastern Front. Right, so that goes there. Pawn goes on that, and activate the Yugoslavia. Is that the right? I think they've got. Oh no, they are. Sorry, I thought that flag was wrong. There you go. It's not blue, white, red. The French one goes the other way. It goes the other way, isn't it? Shows you how much I know my flags. Right. So what are we on the military directive here? Right. So we have the season is summer. We have played a military directive, so we don't. And yeah, no, it doesn't get checked again. Right. So 3.4.1. I want. There's just 2 steps in this. So place a Western control disc in the lowest numbered free sector, Grant. Free sector. So in Yugoslavia, lowest numbered free sector is Belgrade. So that goes in there. And then place a disputed alignment marker in the alignment box, so home areas that contain an axis control disc, so that it's going to be disputed. Oops. Right, okay. And there's only the one country, and that's that. Right, done. Pushing on. Right, so we're the summer of 1941 and the first operations phase. When we should be starting Barbarossa, but we're not. So strategic warfare. Yeah, it does mean we've got plenty of time, because we can't do this until we can't do it until the summer of next year. Yeah. Okay. Right, strategic warfare, we're getting 3 dice, one of which is grey, the other 2 are white. Put that in the cup. We're going to draw a card for the allies. Combat card 1941. Strategic. That's a 2. Yeah, so they're getting 2 dice. That card goes away. The 2 blue dice. Right. Strategic warfare. We don't want to see any aircrafts. That's right, USA is not a war yet. And we want to see some hits. It's just the hits that matter. Oh, come on. Really? Well, we've tied, haven't we? It's 2 against 2, isn't it? I'm not going to bother bringing this out. So it's 2 hits for them, 2 aircraft, and it's 2 hits for us. Well, that's not so bad. If it's just equal, it's no effect. The air artillery or anti-aircraft or whatever it is doesn't. That's no effect. No events there. Yeah, I would have liked to see us win again, but I think we lost the last time, so at least we've just tied this time. So no effect for our strategic warfare. Right, on to movement. Okay. On to movement. Yeah. Right. Maybe at a time. Well, I'd like to... It looks like I've still got the chance to finish off this as a part, so I probably should try and stick with this. Well, we know we're not doing Barbarossa. All we're doing is Yugoslavia. But we should start... Or should we? Not necessarily, Grant. I've just said if we're going to wait till next summer, and we've got another operations. So what we need to do is shore up our defences, really. You know, can we get a Panzer Army in here, for instance? Well, there's 2 of them in here. And the other thing is, I mean, we could move this Panzer Army, one of them, get a regular army in there, maybe. That's how you go about doing all that, isn't it? Right, in the Western movement, we've got 3. Southern 4. Eastern 2. So, yeah, my idea of the Eastern was to move these 2, wasn't it? Yeah, but I don't want to move this out of Yugoslavia, but I might have wanted to move these out of Hungary. Well, no, just strategically move them, if you're going to do it. Right, okay. I'm going to do the Southern Front first. Southern Front, operational movement. Yeah, we could have done 1, 2 there, though. Switch them over so they've got the same in each. Well, I think I had the chance of that last turn and I chose not to do it. So let's just move these satellite armies, I think. Yeah, so I'm going to use my Southern Front operational movement to move these 2 out of Northern Italy into Southern France. There's no partisan there, so that's fine. Right, that's the Southern Front. No, they've got 4, Grant. Okay, sorry. Well, we can do that then. I'm forgetting they've got 4. I'm thinking it's Eastern. So that was 2. Right. You do have this guy in the strategic movement box as well. So that's 2. So I could actually switch these 2 over. Maybe I should. Because this one's defending in plains, whereas this one's defending in rough. He gets an extra dice for that. Yeah, I think I might do that actually then. So what I'm going to do is with my other 2 movement in the Southern Front, yeah, you can't get an AG head in here because you can't get 2 German armies. That's annoying. Now that's the other place we could put the Panzer Army, but that's defending on rough as well. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. So I'm going to do my other 2 movement. I'm going to move that into there, and then I'm going to move that into there. So we've got the same in each. That's 4 Southern Front operational movement points. So Eastern's got 2. Oh, yeah. I want to move 1 down into Yugoslavia, don't I? Again, though, you could do this strategically, couldn't you? Well, no, that's probably not the right way of thinking, Grant. So I've got two movement here. Hungary's not a partisan one, is it? Right, so I'm going to move 1. That was a plan anyway. 1 down into Yugoslavia. And I'm maybe not going to move the other one. Anyway. Not really got much left. Hello. Yeah, I think that's it for the Eastern Front, just with that 1. So Western, no, I might not be doing anything with the Western because I need to move them strategically, don't I? Yeah, I just want to move these. Oh, hold on. No, Western, I need, yeah. Western, I'm going to move that to there. For 1. I mean, I do have 2 more, but I don't want to do anything with that. Nope. So then, strategic movement. So I've got 5. So do we put 1, 2, 3 into strategic movement box? I think so, because I don't really need to get them all moving yet. Yeah, so you're gonna 1 box gonna go away. That's fine though. Right, so strategic movement 1, 2, 3, and 1 box goes away. That becomes a vacancy. No, I don't know if it's that one or that one or whether it matters. Right, von Bock, who was in command, right, is now. No, I'm putting a vacancy in there. Done that before, I think. That's wrong, Grant. Right, so von Bock comes out and he becomes available, and there is not a vacancy in there. So hang on, that's 1, 2, 3. So I've got 2 more. So can we put them in a place that creates? I mean, I could put it in Poland. Is von Bock any good in Poland? Attacking it in any terrain. Yeah. I mean, I could put them in Romania, Bulgaria, I suppose. So I'm going to use the other 2. I'm going to put these in Poland, I think, because they've got the chance of 2 AG heads anyway. So that becomes a vacancy there. And that's my strategic movement done. Right, and then air naval movement, I don't think I'm going to do anything wet. I think that's only when you need to, I think when you need the Germany boats moved up. So, although there's probably some places where you might mess about with it, but right, I'm going to leave that at that. I'm going to move on to command. I know I've got a vacancy there. I don't know. We need to check all the other places as well, but this is the time to do it. But I'm going to have to leave it at that. So, got another bit done at least. Right, I'll be back sometime soon, hopefully, for the next part. This will be the command phase. 1941 summer first operations, and we're not started at Operation Barbarossa, so we're going after Yugoslavia. Yes, we know what we're doing. Right, be back later. Cheers.